Alright YouTube, I don't know how this is going to work. A little video of the truck that I'm actually going to build for my wife. I expect to have it done probably by this time next year, completed. So we'll see how things go. The truck I'm starting with is a little rougher than what I wanted to use, but it is a rust-free body. So here we go. I've got it in the house. The garage, it's on the house. Because the wife does come out and work on it. Like I said, I've only got one light up out here so far, and I've got a total of 4 I'm going to put up. But as you can see, we got the front end stripped. I'm going to change the steering shaft over to one out of a Jeep with the U-joints in it instead of the rag bushing. I will be getting rid of the power steering on this one and putting a 27502 manual box on it. Inside the cab, I got one floor pan I'll have to cut out and replace. Someone has put cab corners in this at one time, as you can see right here and down. Okay, here's the shitty part of it. It looks like Duraglass, Marhide maybe, I don't know. But all he did was putty him in. There's no welds, nothing. So I'm going to grind all that shit out, weld them in, fix it right. I'm going to blast the frame and paint it. We're going to switch it out to a 9-inch from Curry, because the motors going in this truck will explode at rear end. Like I said, it's sitting right here. It's a 350. 60 over. It's got a set of 58cc GM aftermarket GM heads on it. Basically they're same as like a 416 casting 305 head, except these have bigger runners in them than the 305s. Flat tops. It's got a Callie's crank, Callie's H-beam rods. It's got probe pistons in it. Total seal, file fit rings. It's all been balanced. It's got a true Chloe's 2 roller chain in it. It's got a comp roller cam, comp roller lifters. I've got a set of roller rockers that are going on it. It's already got 3/8 been drilled, made bigger. It's got 3/8 push rods in it. All the heads and everything got all comp springs. One of the holes, let's see. You can see down in there a little bit. You see there's one of the new pistons sticking up. Yeah, there's a new piston. There's another new shiny top of a new forged piston. Yeah. So, I'm going to run a Torque 2 intake on it. And I've got 2 carburetors. I've got a 750 and I've got a 650 double pumper both. So I'm going to start with the 650 and see how it does. And go from there. This truck, we're going to leave the gas tank in it. Instead of using a fuel cell, I'm just going to leave the tank where it's at. I've already got 2.5-inch aluminized exhaust that's bent from the headers that goes all the way out the ass that I'm going to reuse. But, yep, I just ain't got no room in the other garage, because not only am I building this truck, I'm building one for my son, 16. It's in there, and I'm also working on a small block Chevy powered Fox body Mustang that's going to be my daughter, who is also 16. So, my daughter's mine, my son is my stepson, but he's still my son. We're a blended family, so I've been dad for quite some time to the boy. But we got a mess of tools we unloaded tonight. throw one down there. We picked up our pawn shop finds. Got a Skill 4.5-inch angle grinder. The other one is, I don't know what that orange one is, I can't remember, but it's a big 7.5, 7.25. This one actually here is a grinder 2 polisher, and it had an aluminum grinding wheel on it that ain't never been used. A little pressure washer, which I use today, and it's like 1500 or 1800 psi, and works the driveway off. Works pretty good. There's a Sawzall and a Skill Sawzall and a Ryobi cordless Sawzall. And I get $50 for all of it. Yeah. My dad's brother's got like 3 pawn shops, and yeah, I just get $50 for all of it. So, there's the Jeep steering shaft. For any of you guys that want to do an S10 swap, this is what it looks like. There is the 1-inch double D that goes up to the firewall on the side. And down here on this end, this one is 3/4 30 spline. Basically what you do is, this one's kind of stiff, so I'll probably have to knock it apart with a hammer, put it in the vise and pull it apart. That or I got a little hydraulic ram. I'll put it in the vise, chain the ram to the side, and put pressure to it, pull it apart. But take it apart right here. Take the solid part, cut 2.5 inches off, put it back together, and it goes right in there. Goes right up on that end. Goes down here on this end. You get rid of the rag joint. Tightens your steering up quite a bit. So it also helps immensely. Some of you guys have seen my other videos on that solid axle S10. There is, I'm going to flip the camera, so bear with me. I don't think it'll let me do it, so I'm going to turn it around so you can see me. We'll see how this works. On a solid axle swap, like S10 Extremist, there's another one I want to say, Pirate, 4x4 or whatever. A lot of these guys are using the Jeep Wagoneer pitman arm, or like a 77 to 79 F-150 pitman arm. Don't mess with that crap, okay? Go to Off-Road Direct. You can get a drop pitman arm for an 88 to 02 full-size Chevy. It's already reamed out for the, I want to say the 2027. Don't quote me on it. It's the part number, the 1-ton GM tie rod end. Okay. It'll pull right on the Saginaw box on an S10, a power steering box or a manual steering box, 87 to 93. It will not fit the 82 to 84 manual box. They're both 32 spline, but the diameter for the pitman arm is smaller, and it is a lighter weight steering box. It is 6 turns lock to lock, where the 87 to 93 is 7.25 turns, and it has a wider turning radius, and has the same size pitman arm shaft as the power steering box for the S10. But this pitman arm, if you use it either on a 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, my truck's a 2-wheel drive frame. It comes within about 1/8 of an inch of hitting the engine cross member. It's the longest pitman arm you can get to fit underneath there. I've used it on my truck. We've used it on a buddy's truck with a Dana 60 front end under it, which now he's got a 14-bolt full floater that's been converted to a steering axle. It will turn both axles lock to lock. All the way lock, all the way to lock. So there you go if you want to know that. The Camaro headers, guys, like I said, the passenger side, if you're not going to run a body lift or anything like I did, you're going to do it a 2-wheel drive truck, you've got to notch where the floorboard and the firewall meet slightly. You can actually just hammer it up and it'll clear where the collector's at. Other than that, that's all you got to do. Now I'm going to show you on this truck where you have to cut the frame. Okay. This is the use of Camaro headers, and I'm going to do this off of this frame here so you can see. Right here. Come all the way in against this frame rail. Right here. You want to come in to just into here. You want to come in 2 inches. Cut all the way over to the edge of the motor mount. Cut it back, and you want to cut into here. But down here, you just want to... Hang on, I have a little battery in the damn way. You want to cut down to right here, and you want to stop. You want to leave this lip curved up. Lay the plate in right here at an angle up to right here and weld it in. You'll have to put a piece of plate on the side here and a small piece of plate on the side here. Right here from where... What do we got hanging in here in the damn way? Let me get it out of the way here. Right here, you're going to want to take about 1/4 inch off the top of this. Right here, down about 1 inch, and just beat the edges back. Put you a piece of plate in there from the inside, and weld it around, and you're done. The driver's side header will clear. That is if you're using these 2.8 mounts on the frame, and you use a 9906 Transdapt small block Chevy conversion mount. And the driver's side mount, guys, you're going to have to take a grinder to it because you have some bosses and casting outcrops on the side of the block, on a big block. You'll have to ground the mount where it touches to clear. The passenger mount, you won't have to do nothing to it. And as you can see, that mount's just as meaty as a V8 frame mount, okay? It's going to hold a big block unless you just get plumb stupid. Then, you know, you can still find something that'll work. I don't use the OEM mounts. These will come off. I use the Prothane or Energy Suspensions motor mounts because these will let your motor settle. Also, guys, if you run a 4-quart pan, you don't have to screw with this. If you don't, this right here, you're going to have to come over to 1/2 inch below the motor mount. Cut this all the way in to this piece right. Get this shit out of the way. You have to cut this from here all the way up to here. Okay, I'm running a 6-quart pan, and I had to do it on mine. You're going to cut right along this groove. Okay, over here, just follow this up. The same thing, cut it. Go down, cut that all out, and then plate that back in your pan. You'll have plenty of clearance. You can run a big 6-quart, 7-quart oil pan. I left my oil filter where it was. I left the collector on the driver's side header where it was. Other than that, that's all you've got to do for that big block swap. Now, you'll also have to see right here on these, you'll have to grind these back about 1/4 inch on both of these right here. And you'll have to do it on the back side of this one for a 2-wheel drive. Other than that, that's it. And run the motor, slide it all the way back. You'll have enough room to run a short water pump and a mechanical fan. I'm running the radiator out of a 71 K10, K20 with a 396 402 motor in it. It's a 4-core. The radiator is like 18 tall, and the core's 28 3/8 plus the tanks. And I'm running the fan shroud and all off that truck. But I got a body lift too, which gives me 3 inches more. Because my radiators are really setting in the cups right here on the frame. And you got 3-inch body lift block, and it comes over so far I had to cut a 1/2 inch off the side of each block for it to clear. But other than that, that's all you got to do. And I would suggest if you're going to run a big block, go find another rear end and don't screw with those Explorer 8.8s because they're wider than an S10. Your tires will stick out. It'll screw up your back spacing trying to get wheels to fit under the bed. If you got the money to do a big block conversion, go spend the money and get a Curry 9-inch, or, you know, it's just cheap insurance because you'll blow that 7.5 up in a heartbeat. If you want a posi, you can go get a rear end out of a 2.2 truck. It'll have a 411 posi in it. 99% of them did. It's a little bit bigger ring gear in those, but but that's what I do with them. I just order mine through Summit. But that's all we got going on this. This video's too long now. It's already 15 minutes, so YouTube will probably cut me down on it. So, because I don't make up many videos, I'm going to get busy and start working on putting this together. My battery's too low to videotape it out here, and I have nothing to set my camera on, so we'll show you as it gets done what's going on with it. Take care, guys. Later.